All right, the internet is still down, so we're going to have to do it this way. All right. I'm not going to beat you up over some of this stuff. I'm going to make points of the stuff that's really, really important and the stuff that's not as important. We're going to talk about, but we're not going to jump into it as deeply as we might something else. All right, so on Friday, we began talking about this inductive reasoning and conjecture. And this is real good for teenagers. This is the beginning of the whole reason for geometry and why it's going to be the most important class that you will have in high school. Helping you logically figure things out, not just with math, but with life in general. You need this. The people who are supposed to know tell us that as time has progressed, the development of these frontal lobes up here, which emotion, rational thinking, that's what they control. Harley. Okay, I just need you to listen for right now. Okay, the people who are supposed to know tell us that the frontal lobes, which control emotions and rational thinking, have begun to develop slower and slower, and now yours won't be fully developed, they tell us, until you're around 26 years old. A long time. We can't have you waiting until you're 26 before you develop some rational thinking and control your emotions. Sean, pick yourself up, get your book out.
It's hot. I said it can't be. Bro.
Keep your head up. Here goes. See that red light right there? You can't do anything about the heat. I would suggest not wearing a sweatshirt.
It was cold outside this morning. I think I know.
Does that mean it broke?
Anyway, so how can we speed the process up, get these developed a little bit faster? Well, number one, leave the video games alone, stay off the internet. Number two,
do anything, actually.
work them out. Just like, not even work them out.
Playing first-person shooters can actually really help your critical thinking. That's a fact.
He's not even.
It's good for critical things, yes. Like crashing your life, crashing your brain. Critical thinking, negatory. Alright. You work these just like you would work a muscle if you're going to be an athlete or if you just want to be somebody in shape. Your brain works the same way. You got to work it out. The more that you rely on something else to do the work, the less you're developing yourself, the longer it's going to take before, the development happens. So that's why geometry is so important to young folks in high school. We're going to work out those frontal lobes. And this is the section that begins that. So we talked Friday about inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning you can think of as, I'm going to look and see what happened in history. Every time this happened before, what was the result? And if the result was always the same, then I'm going to make the conjecture or the conclusion that the same thing is going to happen now. So with inductive reasoning, you can think of phrases like, history has a way of repeating itself. That's inductive reasoning. The solution, the conjecture, history always repeats itself, then what always happens given these circumstances? Inductive reasoning. Later, there will be deductive reasoning. So inductive, looking at history to see what happened. All right. We're going to move on from there. We talked about a counterexample. Sean. Get your book open. Thank you. Page 94 now, Sean. Up at the top, counterexample. We talked about counterexamples. To show that a conjecture is true for all cases, you must prove it. It takes only one false example, however, to show that a conjecture is not true. The false example is called a counterexample. This is important to you. Absolutely important. Mom, Dad, can I go here and do this with them? No, because every time I let you go, this happens. Your only defense to that response is, but wait a minute, that one time you let me go or let me do this positive thing happened. You just provided a counterexample and took their argument away. Okay, well, first of all, don't argue with you folks. And secondly, be the young people that they're not going to have any doubts or concerns about.
Page 99, kids.
Okay, now, that brings us to page 99. Logic. Get you some of that. Please. Please. Page 99.
You said 99?
That's what I said more than once.
Yeah, baby, don't hear you.
There is a reason why I am going so slow with this. There's a whole bunch of new stuff that they're going to throw at us in this section. It is all extremely confusing. I'm going to tell you that right from the start. And so we just need to crawl our way through it, and hopefully, if we crawl our way through it again, we will have a better understanding of what it is that they're trying to teach us. Sean, you need to go check out and go home. Then get yourself up. Sit up. We're on page 99.
Call your parent.
If you have never seen this before, to me this is just way too much to throw at you all at once. But here we go. Determine truth values. A statement is either true or false. To us, either somebody is telling us the truth or they're lying to us. Shut up. They're either telling us the truth or they're lying to us. Sometimes we have to make that determination, so we need to put all the pieces together to figure out, are they being honest with me, or is what they're telling me not what I need? In business, in law, in science, there's a truth value to statements, and statements can be given in many, many different ways. But the truth value of a statement is either true, T, or false, F. Statements are often represented using a letter such as P or Q. Okay, Trent, I need your book open. I need you following along.
On page 99.
I don't think wrong.
Statements are often represented using a letter such as P or Q. For example, P is defined as this statement. A rectangle is a quadrilateral. That's a statement. Truth value is T, because a rectangle is a quadrilateral. The negation of a statement has the opposite meaning as well as the opposite truth value. For example, the negation of the statement above is not P or tilde P. In words, P. Where P is just the letter it stands for that statement. In symbolism, same. In symbolism, the tilde, that's the name of this shape, the tilde, P, means not P, or the opposite of what P says. If the statement said that Tanner is present, today that'd be true.
So you just put a P?
Okay, so if I had to negate that statement, that means make that statement say the opposite of what you just said. The Tanner's absent. Today, that first statement is true. I'd put a T with it. Its negation is false. So I would put an F with it. True, false. That tilde, we read that as not. Not. Where my finger is right here. Not P is defined as a rectangle is not a quadrilateral. The truth value of that statement is false. Two or more statements joined by the word and or form a compound statement. A compound statement using the word and is called a conjunction. A conjunction is true only when both statements that form it are true. I'll give you a real life example, and it probably has happened to you many times. Your mom or your dad say, "Did you do the dishes and clean your room?"
Yes.
Alright, so suppose you did the dishes, but your bed is not made. How do you answer that question?
No.
You answer that question, no. Because both parts of that have to be true in order for the whole thing to be true. Yeah. So it might be Saturday morning, and your folks might say, "Did you stay away from so-and-so, and were you home by 11 o'clock?
No.
Okay, hold 4 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
So if you were with so-and-so, but you got home at 10:30, how do you answer that?
Put true? No.
You were with so-and-so.
You were with so-and-so, and they
No.
told you not to.
Oh.
So you'd have to answer it no. Both parts have to be true. Okay. In order to pass this class today, you need to have your book open to page 99 and be paying attention. Who's passing today?
Me.
Yes, yes, no. No. Yes, yes.
Don't take 99.
Compound statement. Compound statement. Have your book open at page 99 and be paying attention.
Paying attention. Could you just probably stroll through it?
Like, I took
What does that
notes.
say?
I don't know, there's slobber on top of it where you were sleeping.
No, I don't slobber on sleep. I sleep more than
Compound statement. Both phrases have to be true or the whole statement is not true. Compound statement. Using the word and, it's a conjunction.
Sorry.
Using the word and forms a conjunction. It ties both of them together. It can't be just this or just that. It's got to be this and that. A rectangle is a quadrilateral? True. A rectangle is convex. True. P and Q are defined as, in other words, when you put them together, a rectangle is a quadrilateral and a rectangle is convex. Since both parts are true, the whole statement is true. So, symbolism. That equals not. This symbol means and. This symbol means or. Since both P and Q are true, look, P and Q. Here we go. P and Q. This symbol means and. Did you get that, Carla? Mm-hmm. So if I come look at your paper that you're writing on, you're going to have all those notes and you'll understand. Mm-hmm. The conjunction P and Q, also written as P rooftop Q, is true. Example 1. Use the following statements to write a compound statement for each conjunction. Then find its truth value and explain your reasoning. So they list 3 independent phrases right here. Phrase P, the figure is a triangle. Phrase Q, the figure has 2 congruent sides. Phrase R, the figure has 3 acute angles. Now part A, it says P and R. That means you're going to take the phrase from P, the phrase from R, and you're going to write them together. If we did that, we would get the figure is a triangle and, now I don't have to say the figure anymore, we've already identified that, and has 3 acute angles. It's a conjunction. Was the first part of that true?
Yes.
Is the second part of it true?
Yes. Oh, no.
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 So is the statement that's made by putting those 2 together true? No. It's a false statement. This triangle absolutely does not have 3 acute angles. Although P is true, R is false, so P and R is false. Right. Here's where it gets a little tricky, part B. Trent, I need you to pay attention. Q, what's that symbol mean?
Negative.
And?
O and R.
Not R.
Not R. Okay, so Q is easy enough. The figure has 2 congruent sides. Now, not R means the opposite of what R is saying.
Does not have three acute.
Does not have three acute angles.
Well,
Alright, so let's put it together. The figure has two congruent sides and
Does not have.
does not have three acute angles. Both of those have to be true in order for us to say that that compound statement is true. So does the figure have two congruent sides?
yeah.
Yes. And does the figure not have three acute angles?
Yeah.
That is also true.
So, true.
So the statement is true. The figure has two congruent sides and the figure does not have three acute angles. Q and not R are true. So Q and not R is true. This gets extremely confusing. And you just think about all the new stuff that they threw in just in this one page. You think about why frontal lobes don't grow when you have so much to learn and you're not even letting your eyes have a look at it. Kind of remarkable, isn't it, Miss Ham? It's kind of like walking into the gym and the weight machine is over there. And here I am over here doing air presses. Man, I'm gonna be big.
Oh, God.
Woo! Woo! Man, what a workout.
Can't teach me how to do this.
Yeah. Sam? What's the weirdest thing about this page, page 99?
The weirdest thing,
Yeah.
the B was kind of confusing on example 1.
Say that again.
B was kind of confusing on example 1.
B was kind of confusing. Absolutely. Q and not R. So Q, that statement, and then the opposite of what R says. Carly? What was the weirdest part of that for you?
The like triangle stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like Q and the and sign thing, the signs that are
Symbols?
symbols, yeah.
What would you call that symbol? Let's see, you can't see what I'm pointing at.
The and sign.
I know it's the and sign, but what would you call it? If you had to tell somebody, hey, here's the and sign, it's just
No clue.
rooftop,
Yeah, I covered a roof on.
Yep.
Carrot top.
carrot top. I don't know why they call it carrot top. But,
Is that what they call it?
yeah, some people call, on the calculator, some people call the button with that on it the carrot key.
Sure, I've heard that too. Yeah.
Austin,
Sir?
what about you?
Mine would have to be like with the line, like on example B up
Uh-huh.
here,
Yeah,
where it has the line with the R.
the tilde.
Yeah, that one.
There is a name for that symbol, and it's actually called a tilde.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
everything else I get
Mhm.
with that. But that's what confused me.
Yeah.
Is that
Well-
what it's called in Spanish too? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
Okay. Thanks.
It's well, if it's above the letter, no. anyhow, that's why I'm taking it slow. I think this is too much for just one page, much less one section of something brand new.
So,
Let me pause this right here.
like, Mr. Matthew,
Yes.
so, like, if we ever